Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Check it out, check it out. It is the Fresh Start Show with Dr. Holt. You got it. We're back at it. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to the city of Tucson. We are not just a radio show, we are also a podcast. So it's safe to say Happy New Year to America. Because you can also catch us on YouTube at 10:30 The Voice. We'll connect it to our show with 106 The Groove. We're happy to see you. Thank God for a brand new year. It is our prayer that you have a wonderful year of blessings, prosperity, and favor. We believe that this year is your year. I believe this year is my year. Tom believes this is his year as well. And we're excited. Listen, it is one of the most prolific, didactic, dopest radio shows in the state of Arizona. There's nothing like us, even in the whole United States of America. We are a show that is dedicated on justice reform and talking about the struggles of being incarcerated. We focus on people who've been formerly incarcerated, but we also focus on people who we don't want to get incarcerated. And that's not just dealing with adults. You know, I think sometimes I should make a stronger focus that it's not just adults. We also look at our kids. We look at risk youth. We look at poor youth. We look at youth of color. The school to prison pipeline is certainly real. And so that's what Fresh Start is about. It's about helping our brothers and sisters who's been incarcerated and those who might be on their way to being incarcerated. We want to do all we can to impact recidivism, which is the way we look at data on repeated offenders going back to prison. We want to make sure when people come out of prison, Tom, they never, ever go back again. And so listen, get your Wheaties, get your corn flakes, Frosted Flakes, and Raisin Bran with your donut and your bagel. It's the Fresh Start Show. Get up this morning. We're looking for a great, powerful, impactful episode with you on today. I got my guy with me again. Tom Cortez is with us. Say hello, Tom. Speak to the land.
Good morning to everybody. Just happy New Year. And I'm just going to tell you, as Demond was speaking about...
Speaking to Mike. There you go.
Excuse me. As Demond was speaking about 2023 Fresh Start, there are new relationships that are forming with organizations that did not previously have relationships with each other. And now they're getting together.
Is it this one? Hold on. That one? Bring it more to you.
Now they are getting together.
Can you hear him now? He said bring it more close to you.
Now these organizations are coming together and they're starting to work together. And, you know, for many years in the city, we've had these organizations, but they've been working in their own little silos. And now they're starting to lock arms and they're starting to move forward together and they're starting to make a difference. And with us in particular, you know, being able to do orientations for the newly released individuals and their orientation for pre-release.
Yeah, so tell us about that whole opportunity we just locked in. I just thought it was totally amazing. So guys, Radio Land, listen to this.
When you surrender to the will of what's going on and you go to the places where you're being sent to, things happen. So an individual called me. He needed help talking to individuals at the parole board at the Star Pass facility. So I told him I would go with him. That was the facility that I was on parole at. So while I was there, I just thought, you know, let me ask and see, you know, is my parole officer here? So I asked if my old parole officer's there, and they said, yeah, as a matter of fact, she is.
Wow.
And she happens to be the supervisor of all parole officers now at that facility.
Yeah.
So she was instrumental in me being successful because she encouraged me to be successful. She gave me tools to be successful. And so it's really cool that this has come full circle now, and now we are in a position to help them. And they were so encouraged by the opportunity for Fresh Start to come in and help do the orientation so that every person in there knew that they had access to every resource that could make them successful.
Wow, wow. Listen, guys, this is super dope. We ain't talking about no Rudy Poo stuff. We're talking about the Arizona Department of Corrections Parole Division. And we just got the green light from the deputy warden. Let me repeat, the deputy warden is so excited about working with Fresh Start to create a proactive plan for people who is coming out of prison to immediately start tapping into the Fresh Start program, helping people to rebuild, redevelop, and to restart their lives. And I just think that that's crazy, because when we're talking about recidivism, why do people go back to prison? Why is recidivism is high? It's because when people come out of prison, they don't have the skills, they don't have the support, they don't have the education, they don't have the rehabilitation. And you hear me say that all the time. You know, in prison industry, we call it the Department of Corrections. You know, I always say, well, what are you correcting? What the heck do you correct? Because the prisons, instead of being more of a Department of Corrections, is mostly, for the most part, a Department of Punishment. We just punish people all the way to the end of their sentence. And then when it's time for them to be released from prison and re-enter the community and the population and their families, they have a felony on top of that. So it's going to be hard for them to get a job. It's going to be hard for them to get housing. It's going to be hard for landlords to give them a chance. With that being said, man, if I can't eat, if I can't earn money, and I don't have a roof over my head, what's the first thing you start thinking about going back to? You start thinking about going back to prison. This is why Fresh Start, ladies and gentlemen, is so dope and so powerful, is because we want to help people rebrand themselves, redevelop themselves, rebuild their lives, so that they never, ever have a mindset to ever want to go back to prison again. And so thanks to Tom, I give you kudos on this relationship, because I believe Fresh Start was able to come in and get this green light with the deputy warden because of your relationship with the parole supervisor. So it just helped open that door for us to get in and start creating a proactive strategy for people pretty much like 6 months in advance before they even be released. They can start looking at what is their release going to look like when it comes to Fresh Start.
And I believe a lot of this is track record. And when you look at somebody's track record, you start to gain respect for that individual, because what they are doing is making a difference, and it's making a difference in a positive way.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, we talked last week about the life sentences and stuff like that, and the guys that are just doing extraordinary work in prison. And wonderful for us is that the Department of Corrections is moving toward programming. Yeah. And with a new director, with a new governor, we may get Fresh Start in the prison.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because we actually, there's a lot of people in the prison that because of the podcast, because of recordings being sent, transcripts being sent, people in prison know about Fresh Start, and they're telling other people about Fresh Start. So we're already in there. But if we can get on the iPads and all of that stuff, man, we can make a difference before they ever hit the streets, and then they're going to be prepared. Yeah. You know, you can get a house, you can get a job. All of these things that were holding you back previously will not hold you back anymore, because we're already in contact with you.
That's super dope. And, you know, not even talking about just state and federal penitentiary, but what could a Fresh Start program look in our county jail? What could a Fresh Start program look like if we had a conversation with Chris Nanos, our county sheriff, and say, hey, you know, instead of these men and women wearing orange, walking around, not doing anything too much or being progressive while they sitting, being confined in the county jail, what does it look like to put a Fresh Start program in there, put some educational services in there, help some of them get their GED and a high school diploma, help them start working on a apprenticeship program while they're in the county jail. So when they come out, they as well can have some life skills and some promising futures as well.
Sure, and you consistently talk about the county jail and how absolutely awful it is, because you are just sitting there.
Yeah.
And let's remember, the people that are sitting in the county jail are the under-resourced people. They are people of color.
Yep.
They are people that can't afford to post bond because they don't have enough property to put up for
That's
a
right.
$3,300
Or cash.
bond that they need $330 of cash
Or some
and a
cash.
title for the rest
Or-
of it. And they're sitting in the county jail for 6 months to
Yeah,
a
oh, yeah,
year
to a year.
for that amount of
Yeah.
money. That is
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the taxpayers are paying for those people to be in the jail for that period of time.
Right.
So it makes no sense.
Right.
Why are we not being proactive?
And sitting in jail without being adjudicated.
Right.
I think is the big thing.
Innocent until proven guilty?
Innocent, right.
Innocent never comes into any
Exactly.
discussion, bro. When the jury comes back, they say not guilty.
Right,
Nobody ever says you're innocent.
right.
So you always walk away from there thinking you were guilty.
That's right.
Because
Right.
they said I'm not guilty, I'm still not innocent.
Yeah, yeah. Or plead because you don't have any money
Right.
to be released.
Right.
And then next thing you know, now, yeah, you may have gotten released sooner, but now you have this felony that you pleaded to so you can get out sooner. And so now you got this kind of like of a life sentence that's going to track you, follow you for the rest of your life. And, you know, we talk about it all the time, is once you get that felony record, you lose your right to vote, you lose your right to bear arms, you it's difficult to find employment, it's difficult to find housing. And so really that leads us to our big conversation right now about the new legislation about sealing your records. So people know about Fresh Start. You know, what we do is we've been doing prior to this new legislation. We didn't have any expungement in the state of Arizona. And right now, 200,000 felons who have a felony in Arizona cannot vote. Okay, and so that means there's a lot of people that haven't vote in a long time. Remember, you gave your testimony like it was years being disenfranchised to vote. So we were setting aside records. We were expunging marijuana convictions with the city courts. We were helping people that have outstanding warrants. We're helping people court fees and fines, all kind of different things. Partnering with the Pima County One Stop, where we got felony-friendly employers that will help people get jobs that have felony backgrounds. So some of those things is what we already been doing, but we are proud to announce that we have an extra tool in our toolkit called the new legislation Seal Your Records Law. And so now people who have an arrest record or conviction record can now file a petition with the court to get those items sealed off your background. So Tom, talk a little bit about that, and what do you think, and how you believe people that have a record can benefit from a legislation like that?
The wonder of this legislation is that anybody with a non-dangerous felony is going to be able to have access, and because dangerous weapons, sex offenses, things like that, it's a no-brainer. It's common sense.
Right.
But all of these non-dangerous crimes that ultimately people shouldn't even be in prison for, now we're going to be able to just wipe those away. And it's not that, and it's not the housing. It's the persona. It's the demeanor. It's the change in the individual.
Yeah.
When you don't have to wait for somebody to ask that question. When are they going to come? When is it going to come up? When do I have to answer? When do I have to bring all of this past back so I can get a job, so I can get a place to live, so somebody will like me?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when can I put this behind me? This law puts it behind you. So the way you're going to approach a conversation is completely different because you're more confident, because you know that's not coming up because they have no access to it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this, bro. And people can walk into situations that other times they may have had trepidation. Now they're walking into the situation with confidence. And if it's a job interview or before a landlord, they're going to be confident about where their state is and where they stand in receiving what is being offered.
Yeah. No, it's very powerful. We believe all Arizonians, if you qualify for this new legislation, we want you to most definitely apply for it. We want you to most definitely petition the courts for you to get your record sealed. So what we're also seeing is what the legislation is suggesting is that no one's going to be able to see your record. So if you go and apply for Walmart, you apply for Raytheon, you apply for Google, you apply for Microsoft, and their human resource department do a background check, they won't be able to see your record. They won't be able to see your conviction. This is how powerful I think this is going to be for people in Arizona that petition the court to get their record sealed. That also means landlords can go into your background and see that records. Well, what it does is it really opens the door for people to have a real fresh start when it comes to housing, when it comes to a job. And Tom, I'm sure you've been there, right? When you feel like you got an opportunity for a job, and you really want that job, but that hairball in your throat is sitting there because you're like, that background though, right? If they run the background, the interview went well, they show you a tour of the facilities, they get your juices flowing about you got this job, you got this position, but in the back of your head, you're thinking like, man, will they be forgiving? And give me this opportunity. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what does that feel like to feel like you have an employment opportunity, but you got the hairball in your throat? It's difficult to swallow because you just don't know if they're going to give it to you because of your felony.
Certainly. Numerous occasions this has come up because of my past. It will come out, and it will be, and it has been brought to my superiors at Fort Tucson. And about my past and all, and people just wanting me out of that position. And that was the beauty of my superiors, Mark Harrison. They believed in me.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to back down because they believed in a fresh start.
Yeah.
Right. And they believed that just enhanced my abilities to do this position.
Yeah.
It did not detract from the company or the company's name or anything like that. So, but it continues to happen, and there's continuing to, with this law for people, that won't happen. Yeah. They won't have that shame. They won't have that stigma. They won't walk into a situation waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to drop.
Yeah.
And man, we talked to the news the other day about this law, and it doesn't affect me, but you know what? The people it does affect, it affects me.
And
because we're out there trying to make everybody's life of value to everybody else. And in so doing, they are coming up and doing the same thing with others. Yeah. I see men who have come out who we've had an influence on are now having an influence on other men and bringing them to Fresh Start to change their future.
Yeah.
Bro, we do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But for me to see it's like the discipleship model multiplied, and for me to see that in this way, it's just good men of integrity who otherwise would have been looked at not that way because you're looking at their past instead of who they are right this moment.
Yeah. No, it's dope, man, and I just don't think that people understand the struggle is certainly real when you have a felony, and how difficult it is. It's
hurts.
Easy it hurts. It impacts your self-esteem. It impacts your value. It impacts everything. Even if in your personal life you want to date somebody, you want to get married, you have to really open up and share your past, and then try to trust them that with sensitive information. It impacts all part of your life. And so that's why we're excited about our organization Fresh Start, because it's not a second chance. Because if you be honest, we blew our second chance, our fourth chance, our 10th chance. People just need a straight up fresh start, and that's what our organization is about. Is helping people that have made some bad choices and been in prison, been in the county jail. We want to make sure that you're okay. We want to make sure you have the life skills that you need. If you're struggling with substance abuse, you got an addiction problem, we help you with that. And we have behavioral health partners with Fresh Start to help you with that. If you're struggling with, mental health issues. We have partners that will help you with your mental health issues. If you don't have a job, we have our One Stop, Pima County One Stop department that will help. That has a nice plethora of felony-friendly employers, that would give a felon a job. So, and we're just 8 months old, man, as an organization, and we have grown massively. And and I give glory to God for that. I know God has really favored us and really favored our organization. It's not just an organization; it is a ministry. That's how at least I look at it. And we're here to help people. Our mission is where everyone deserves a new beginning. So real quickly, because we're running out of time, Tom, share some of your flyers, what we got coming up in the community that we need to know about. You got 2 of them. You can describe it better than me.
We do a Market on the Move from January to June at the Amphi Bible Church, which is Oracle and Prince. And it's 60 pounds of produce for a $10 donation, but we scholarship families that are in need all the time. And it's just a wonderful opportunity for people to come through. You get fresh produce, like 60 pounds of it, which you cannot possibly eat by yourself or it'll spoil. So you have to share it. So you are producing community. So please come out and see us second Saturday, 7 to 10 every month at the Amphi Bible Church. The other thing which we love to be a part of, and for me personally, and for Fresh Start, I think too, we do the blessing breakfast for first responders. And we get to pray over first responders, fire, sheriff, police, elected officials. All of them come and are invited and get to eat for free. Please come. The El Conquistador Resort from 8 to 9:30, January 27th. It's on 10,000 North Oracle. All first responders eat for free. And anybody that would like to buy a table for first responders, please contact Fort Tucson and do so. We love to honor them and the work that they do to protect and serve in the county. And trust me, I haven't always been the most passionate about the police force, but I have found that restorative justice has put us in a place where we are no different than each other, and we all play a part to make everybody succeed.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you brought up restorative justice, because I have a lot of people try to figure out, okay, what is Fresh Start? And Fresh Start is that. It is a nonprofit, faith-based restorative justice organization, and our whole model is about restorative justice. And what we do is we help people not only to bounce back from breaking the law or spending time in prison or in jail because of the criminal act, but we help people to rebuild and nurture those relationships that has been harmed, and holding people accountable to those relationships that have been broken, and helping them to create a restorative strategy on how to rebuild their lives, how to reintegrate their families, reintegrate their churches and congregations, reintegrate their communities. That's what restorative justice is about. And our big focus is our justice system need a whole lot of help. And it takes a village to bring healing into our city and into our community. We're too punitive. We incarcerate way too many people. And when we look at the numbers among African Americans and Latino communities, we overly incarcerate Black and brown people way too much and too often, without a way to navigate back to getting back for your future. And so that's why we're here. That's why Fresh Start is here, to push the narrative to our courts, push the narrative to our prosecutors, push the narrative to law enforcement, that we have to stop being so punitive, being tough on crime, and now it's time to be smart on crime. Smart on crime means that, hey, if you're in jail and you have a substance abuse problem, if I'm a judge, I'm going to order you to go to a substance abuse place instead of rotting and sitting in jail. If you have schizophrenia and paranoia and bipolar depression, instead of sitting in prison and rotting away, you know what I'm going to do? As a judge, I want to make sure that you are in a behavioral health clinic getting the support that you need. That's what restorative justice is. Or if I see an avenue where we can make sure that we create alternatives to incarceration without even having a contact with the justice system, is restorative justice on steroids, where you don't even have to be arrested at all. But listen, there's so much that we want to be speaking into. But we have some really, really great things coming up that we're excited about. Fresh Start is going to be working with the parole department, with Department of Corrections. We're meeting again this coming Tuesday to put that plan together. We're doing the school to prison pipeline. Yes, that means we're working with youth. So Fresh Start is working with the juvenile courts to put a fresh start together. So listen, we out of time. We're excited. Feel free to reach us if you want to reach us at demond@thefreshstartint.com. That's our email. We look forward to hearing from you. We're here every Saturday on 106 The Groove at 7:30. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Have a great day and be blessed.